Bridgemill, here we are. We're going to start taking a look at what we've got going on. It's June of 2024. And if you've been following us along, I do this pretty monthly and just kind of review what's going on. So very interesting. These are the sale price. Let's jump right into this. I'm going to look at the sale price here in Bridgemill over the last 3 years. So this is the 3-year average. The median kind of looks the same way. Now I do a 3-month rolling average. See, rolling average takes the peaks and valleys out. But look at that spike. Listen, you know, I don't know. We keep on mentioning this. There's no end in sight to kind of where we're going as far as the market itself. So these are, I guess depending on where you're at and what your viewpoint is, these are all good signs. But the average price, sale price in the neighborhood is actually just spiked over the last couple months. So now, does that mean just the larger homes are selling and the smaller homes like the cottages and such aren't selling? I don't know. The thing that I like to look at is the price per square foot to actually see what's going on. This tells you gives you a different picture. And this is a little bit more flatlined. If we kind of look at the most recent months, we're hovering right around that $183, $185 price point. We were up to about $200 a square foot there briefly. But as you can see, this is just kind of telling us, hey, actually, just because the price points are going up, maybe the smaller homes just aren't selling. Just the larger homes are. So it's just the pool of homes that are actually selling in the neighborhood that really reflect that. So what does this tell us? This tells us that we still are appreciating. If we look at price per square foot, it's about the best indicator that we have with this tool that I'm using. And it's still showing that, yeah, we're still increasing in values. Your values are hanging in there, increasing a little bit. It's not crazy like it was back in these early 2021, 22. We've talked about that quite a bit. So that's all good news. The other thing is just how much activity is going on. Are there a lot of homes on the market, and is there a lot of activity? So we like to look at closed sales for that. And as you can see, over the last couple of years, it's way down from what it had been in years past. If we look at kind of month to month comparison, like 2023 to 2024, we kind of look at month to month. We're kind of mirroring a little bit of what we had last year. We'll see exactly what happens if we have this big peak in the summer. I'm predicting that we are not going to see a big peak like we saw. Like here's a big peak back in 2022. And of course, back in 2021, those were big peaks. We had big, busy summer months. And then when 2023 rolled around, obviously the new interest rates had kicked in, and that peak kind of disappeared. So we're going to see the same kind of a trend, I think, this summer. We're already experiencing that. Now, there's buyers out there. We just have a lack of inventory. And how do I know that? Well, let's look at the new listings that actually hit the market over the last year. And you can see that we don't see this big, huge increase in new inventory hitting the market like we typically do during the summer months in these busy, busy summers. So that number is way down, telling us the inventory level has been way down. So here's the bullet points for June of 2024. Overall market values are hanging in there. You're stabilizing. You're still seeing a little bit of an increase, probably more like a 4 or 5% increase. I'm predicting in 2024, which is great because we had been seeing double-digit value increases on an annual basis for the prior years, quite a few years, which is great if you held inventory or held real estate. Not so great if you didn't hold real estate and you're actually trying to buy in this crazy market. So that's a good thing. Values are still there. Your inventory is really low. So we still need more houses. There's no quick fix to that. So if you're a buyer out there, strap it on, get ready. You've got to compete, and whatever agent you're working with, you just make sure you're ready to compete and win a new home. So there are some houses trickling on the market, not the big volume that we see. Moving forward for the rest of this year, we don't see the interest rates changing much at all. Probably going to be holding steady right around that 7.1 range. We are not predicting any kind of a crazy fluctuation there. So it's kind of the more the stable. This is the new norm, right? So for the time being, what you're seeing over the last 3 or 4 months is probably going to be the new norm. So anyways, that's what's going on in Bridgemill. If you have any questions or concerns or want to talk a little bit more about it, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.